Hello there, folks. My name is Spunks, and I saw Godzilla vs. Kong for real this time, and it was really good. This film is a major improvement over King of the Monsters, which, in all honesty, I didn't hate. I just thought it was kind of eh. And also, in all honesty, this is probably the best film in this monsterverse that we've gotten so far. Easily the best part of this movie are the two title characters themselves, Godzilla and Kong. Kong more so because we spent a lot more time him and his character and his relationship with the little girl, which is essentially the heart of the movie, and it was just so sweet and adorable seeing the two of them bond together. But let's not forget the main event of the movie, which is his battles and fights between Godzilla, which are insanely cool to watch. First of all, unlike King of the Monsters, you can actually see the fight scenes and tell what is going on because there's nothing blocking the screen like rain or snow. It's clear and you can actually see the fight scenes. And they are a ton of fun to witness. Godzilla and Kong leave no stone unturned. They just leave destruction and chaos everywhere they go. Nothing stops them from trying to kill one another, whether it be a very populated city or an ocean. They just don't care. They're just hitting and punching each other relentlessly, and it's a ton of fun. You feel every punch, every kick, hear every swing and every beat down, and it's a blast to see. And each fight scene keeps getting better than the last one. Alright, there's no way they're gonna top this one. This was just too cool. They top it again with another one, and they definitely saved the best for last because this film has one of the greatest final battles I have ever seen in any film. It was such a great way to end the movie. It was intense, exciting, left me on the edge of my seat, and a ton of fun to watch. The story here is also very good, and while albeit a little convoluted at times, and believe me, there are some moments where the movie can be very hard to follow, I felt like it juggled all of its plot points and subplots in here very well so that it flowed naturally and made sense for the context of the movie and the narrative, and to the point where it didn't feel like, okay, we're just gonna pull random ideas out of a hat and see if it sticks. So I thought that was very good. I didn't even mind the human characters in this movie, to be honest, which is the biggest problem with all of these movies. And sure, yeah, they're not the strongest characters, and they do have some issues we'll talk about later, but I found them all to be, well, most of them, to be really enjoyable and really likable. They all had personality, they all didn't have a scene where they like taking the material way too seriously. They knew what movie they were in, and they were all really likable. And lastly, I think this movie handled its tone the best out of all of these MonsterVerse movies because most, if not all of them, suffered from having tonal issues where there are moments where they can be a little too silly and too goofy, or be too overly dramatic and serious. And this one found the right balance between being silly, goofy nonsense and dramatic, serious intensity, which I felt was really good. But unfortunately, everyone, I do have a couple issues with this movie. One thing is that there's a very noticeable lack of Godzilla in this movie. I was surprised to see how little they used him in. Not that he's like barely in the movie and has like one, two scenes, but they really used him sparingly, and we didn't really get enough screen time with him and spent a lot more on Kong. You can also so basically consider this more of a Kong Skull Island sequel rather than a continuation of this cinematic universe. But I bet that had something to do with how King of the Monsters performed at the box office, and they said maybe we should hold back on Godzilla, seeing how people didn't really care for his own movie. But again, would have preferred a little more screen time with the radioactive lizard. Another issue is that there are way too many characters. They're not hateable or unlikable, but the movie has such a large cast of characters that a lot of them can be very sidelined, or even the point where they just have literally only one line. And it can also often result with us spending too much time with one group of characters to the point where you forget that there is another group, and whenever it comes back to them, you're like, Oh, right, I forgot you were in this movie. And like I said before, there are points in the story where it can be very hard to follow because they're throwing so much at you at points, and it can also result in it being a little too convoluted and complicated, and may result you thinking, wait, what? Why are we here? Wait, hold on. Can you rewind? Why is this that way? Too much to process. It's not Tenet level bad, but still, I feel like they could have just made the story a little bit more simpler so that it could be a little more easier to follow. And also, this movie's not all that funny. There were times where I chuckled and laughed, sure, but whenever it tried to be funny, it almost always inevitably fell flat. But even with those issues, I still found this movie to be really entertaining. The two title characters are the best part, and their fight scenes are awesome. The storyline and characters are much better handled here than they ever were. The tone was handled better in this movie than it ever was in the cinematic universe as well, and it's just ridiculously fun. It knows it's stupid, and it just rolls with it. I had a really good time with this movie, guys. If your local theater is open or you'd rather watch it on HBO Max, definitely check it out. This cinematic universe has been struggling for a while, but I think it finally found its footing with this movie, so definitely check it out. It's probably the most fun I had at the movies in a long time, and probably the most fun I'll have at a movie theater this year, considering we will most likely have to wait a long time for these other blockbusters to hit the big screen. So definitely check it out whenever you can. I highly recommend it. So those were my thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong. What did you guys think of it if you've seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all of the social media links at the end of the video. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.